are listening to Lucha Underground.
Hey everybody, welcome to Lucha Afterground, not the only Lucha Afterground podcast on the internet, but by far the best one.
I didn't know that we had competition. What's the other one? What's another one?
There's one by AfterBuzz TV. They're
Never
like a
heard of it.
conglomerate of after show podcasts.
Amateurs.
No, they're the professionals. We're
Wait.
the amateurs.
Okay.
But, and then there's another one that's similar to ours, I presume. To be fair, I actually haven't listened to either of them. No. But I'm wondering, is there a way that we can pick a fight with them?
Yes.
Okay.
Right now, I will throw out the challenge. Any other Lucha Underground podcast recap shows, they want to fight, come to Vancouver. Come to Vancouver.
Violence!
Because I will bring the violence.
Violence!
All right, cool.
I'm not afraid at all.
Yeah, he'll stand behind me.
Yeah, that's right. You seem really enthusiastic about that. So, a lot to talk about this week. Actually, a couple of things I want to bring up to you guys after 1 week of throwing our podcast out into the world is we had a couple of people message us over SoundCloud, and I just want to give some shout-outs to them. I just need to find out what their usernames are. One guy by the name of Crystal Fisher.
Ooh. And that's fissure.
Yeah, like the it's all geography
Yeah.
and
I like that
geology.
you went to geography
Geology.
and geology. I went to buttholes.
Yeah.
You got an anal
well, maybe.
fissure, but made out of crystals.
So he actually mentioned that last week I had said that King Cuerno hadn't spoken until season 2. I was wrong. So
Okay.
thanks to Crystal Fisher for the correction. And he's also reporting that they do not hype up the crowd or direct the crowd on how to react, or everybody cheer for this guy, everybody don't cheer for this guy. So that's great.
Good to know.
Appreciate that. Also, a shout out to Ultimate Carl. Ultimate Carl. Here's an interesting thing about Ultimate Carl. He messages us on SoundCloud. He wants to be on the show. He seems very eloquent.
Where does Ultimate Carl live?
We don't know. He seems very eloquent. Seems very intelligent. Very enthusiastic.
So he has
But
no
I tell
place
him,
here.
What's that?
So he has no place here.
here. But I tell him, Ultimate Carl, we record this in my kitchen in Vancouver. So sorry, but if you want to send me a Lucha Underground inspired haiku, we'll read it on the air.
Goddamn right.
And nothing.
Nothing.
Radio silence. Ultimate Carl. Anybody who's listening to this right now, you write us a Lucha Underground haiku. We'll read the best ones on air.
No, we're happy,
575, baby. 575.
we're happy to hear from you. There's not a chance. You will not be on the show. Not a chance.
No.
Unless you're in Vancouver, then maybe we'll talk.
Yeah.
Even then.
So lots to talk about this episode. The whole thing begins with a little backstage vignette between Puma and Pentagon Jr.
I got to stop you there quickly. The way you say Puma is almost infuriating.
How do you
Puma?
say it?
Puma.
Puma. Prince Puma.
Puma?
Prince Puma.
Prince Puma.
I don't know. When I was a kid, I never stole someone's Puma tracksuit. It was a Puma.
You're just gonna you'll have to give me. I can't retrain my brain during the course of.
I just don't want people to turn off. Just so everybody out there listening knows. We are with you. Max is wrong.
Sorry. I'll try better.
Hey,
So-
Max, before you get into that segment, in the recap before, I think these recaps are chosen as they are with any television. They remind us of the war that's going on.
Yes.
Like between Dragon Azteca and Dario Cueto, I
guess
guess.
so,
It's like, do you realize you've started a war? I think that was important for, I guess, in the very last segment that we see today.
Yeah, sure. So the whole thing kind of is bookended by the Dragon Azteca stuff. We can talk about that right now. Do you think that they actually know what's going on with this Dragon Azteca stuff, or do you think that they just sort of dropped in some plot points and they're sort of writing as they go along? Because it doesn't feel like it's. It feels like there's a lot of reading in between the lines going on here.
Sure. Yeah, that's a pretty that relationship and what's going on there is clear as mud.
Yeah, so Kevin, you didn't get a chance to watch the whole first episode. Based purely on what you've seen from this, that recap at the beginning and the stuff at the end, what do you think is going on with this Dragon Azteca stuff?
He's got a green mask.
Exactly.
No, I didn't. I didn't see the first season. Just a few matches here and there. So I don't really know what's going on. But God damn it, if that guy doesn't have a green mask.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not wrong.
So there's a little bit of a backstage vignette, and then we learn that Puma and Pentagon Jr. have been teamed up, and they're going to be taking on the Disciples of Death later on the show, probably as retribution for getting involved in the main event from the last week's episode. They butt heads a little bit, and then
There's a lot of sweat, should mention.
a lot of sweat.
Oily abs. Very oily abs doing some curls.
Pretty sweaty.
Anything that jumped out about this to you guys?
The only thing that bothered me, and it shouldn't because I'm better than Jim Cornette, is the sound effects. The punching, the whoopsh, whoopsh. I don't know if that was a big thing in the first season because I didn't see a lot of the backstage vignettes. I just saw the matches.
Yeah, very rarely did
occasionally.
they get into
Yeah.
like fights in the vignettes.
Yeah, I'd say one every 6 episodes, if that.
But it was great. It was beautifully shot and everything. It was just the fucking Adam West Batman. Whoopsh,
Yeah.
whoopsh.
Yeah, I didn't notice. I was cool with it, but
But I do.
totally get where you're coming from.
as long as we're clear that Jim Cornette sucks.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we all
know
in
that.
agreement on that.
Moving right along.
Mundo and Killshot. So we get Johnny Mundo for the first time this season. Great to see him back.
Best
And
jacket
Killshot.
in the biz.
Yep,
Johnny
best,
Mundo.
Best. Man, those pants are just could not be any more out of style. Like
Yeah.
they are just terrible.
But it's great when he's a heel, and even
Yeah.
as a babyface to some extent. It's pretty. And
Dynamite
oh, yeah.
jacket.
Yeah.
The pants,
Oh, yeah.
fine, whatever. I don't look at a guy's pants. What a weirdo.
it's great for
his
his style.
coat.
But for his in-ring style, like
amazing.
it helps to have the flashy gear for that.
What's your overall impression of Killshot?
Straight out of Tacoma.
Yeah.
Grew up breathing similar air in his nose that we did
That's
out
true.
here in
Pacific
Vancouver.
Northwest.
He grew up smelling the Tacoma aroma.
I love Killshot. I think he's got a super weird.
Uterus tattoo on the top of his back.
Yeah, you're convinced about that.
I'm at 100%. If you watch at the beginning of that match, the beginning, he's standing with his back to the hard camera.
Yeah.
And his upper back tattoo looks like a uterus and ovaries straight out
And
of
as
the
I
medical
said,
textbook.
you don't know his journey. You don't know why that's so.
That's right.
In all likelihood, it's like a bull's head. It's most likely it
You
looks
don't know
like the
that.
head of a bull.
You don't know that.
But it really looks uteri.
Let's anybody out there listening, tweet at us. Let us know what that tattoo is, or let us know why he has a uterus tattooed on his back. Maybe you've heard the story. Maybe you
Tweet us
know
at
the
Lucha_Underground without the OU.
No, it's Lucha _after GRND.
Yeah, I suck shit.
It's because did you know that Twitter has a 15-character limit on usernames?
Really?
Yeah, and
That's-
Lucha Afterground is more than 15 characters.
Son of a
Nothing we
biscuit.
could have done about it. I know. Killshot. I love. He seems very. He has a unique energy. Very lanky. Very.
Sure, but where are you going to go with him? Where do you see? Is he just going to? I see him moving plot. I don't see him having a full arc. Do
Yeah.
you? Yeah, or that could surprise me.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to another person who made his season 2 debut, the Mack, who debuted with Killshot. Willie Mack. Does Willie Mack get an arc? He
I
won
didn't think
tonight.
so. I didn't think. I think we can talk more about him when we get to that match. Should we talk about this match first?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
the
Mundo,
Killshot-
okay,
the
yeah.
Killshot
Let's stick
Mundo.
with Mundo and Killshot. What else we got?
We got our first holy shit chant of the night with a spear on the outside from Johnny Mundo to Killshot. I'm not a huge fan. And again, too, anybody listening to this, we are only talking about our personal likes and dislikes. We are not trying to portray ourselves as experts. I personally hate it when I see a guy Johnny Mundo size throw a spear. Like when Edge used to throw a spear, I also thought that was kind of dog shit.
Yeah, but Killshot's pretty scrawny, so you're able to buy it.
Yeah.
No?
No, I could buy it. Like it looked great, but I just don't like a small guy throwing a spear. It just seems like a big guy.
Maneuver.
Yeah.
Killshot's good. I think he worked a slower pace in this, and I thought at times he was tentative. When he did that flip out into the... It looked good, and he landed on his feet, but it was still kind of... It wasn't parallel, if you know what I'm saying. He's not quite as polished as some of the other guys.
What do we know about Killshot outside of the fact that he's from Tacoma, Washington?
Nothing.
I don't know. I'm not super familiar with him. So.
This is shocking to me, Kevin, because you're my go-to guy for all sorts of dirt on wrestlers.
I must have been having sex that one day.
Gracias. Gracias.
So
gonna do that.
after that match,
Snug.
snug.
This match is getting snug.
Like it. Tremendous. Love it. After the match, which Johnny Mundo wins with whatever he calls it.
The end of the world.
The end of the world.
Which is good. That was good. And the standing single Spanish fly looked really good.
Amazing.
And there's a really nice sequence in the corner that led into that DDT.
Yeah, and the crowd after that. After that sequence, Killshot gets goes to the pin. 1, 2. Johnny Mundo kicks up, and the crowd goes into that was 3 chant. The crowd was decidedly behind Killshot during that whole match, which I loved.
And Johnny's got some good heat on him.
Yeah, for sure. And then so Mundo wins, and
we hear a voice.
that's right,
And it is the voice of
Brian Cage.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's feeling casual. Like the C's just kind of, what's up, everybody? Just kind of leaning
I know, it
in.
was so weird.
It's good to be back in the temple, guys. Listen.
And then he just kind of wanders around. Hey, there he is. Like he's pointing at
But he meant
old favorites.
What he meant was it's good to have other people in the temple because he didn't leave the temple since last season. He stayed in a bathroom in the back just trimming his sideburns.
Oh my god! Yeah, you just kept on going and going and going. Next
Trimming
thing you
his
know-
sideburns and doing push-ups.
Oh my god!
That is a big man. No, it's not a man, I should say. He is a machine.
That's right.
Which made Johnny Mundo say, "You're a machine. Yay." Which
and his voice kind of cracked a little bit.
I
too.
think it might be the first time in my life that I've seen a wrestler use the word "yay" in a promo, and that was a big moment for me. I was really happy.
I loved it. Made me lol.
Yeah, I like Mundo a lot. I do want to mention that he works his style as a heel really well. Because I don't know if you remember when Brett will talk about how Owen had to bring his stuff down when he had to work as a heel back in the day. But Mundo did that kind of throw over his back into a groin kick, which is still flashy but still kind of dastardly.
Right,
So
definitely.
he's really good at that.
Yeah. So Cage comes out. We get casual Cage. And what I liked about this is that Mundo and Cage are both. I mean, they've got heat with one another, but really they were both out there to call out Mil Muertes, right? So Mundo, who is like a dastardly heel now, is calling out Mil Muertes. Cage comes out, he's calling out Mil Muertes. So everybody's got their eyes on the prize. They're not preoccupied really with these like personal feuds, which I thought was refreshing.
You know what else is refreshing is that Mil Muertes' body.
Yes.
Quite a body on him.
Gracias. Gracias.
Did you guys notice that Mil Muertes so he has a broken arm, but it's not in an actual cast. It's in a leather sling.
Leather sling.
It's like he doesn't go to the hospital.
No.
What are you, crazy? Do you
He's
think
very,
he has
he's very
care
steampunk.
card that he brings in?
Do you think that how long, for how many episodes will Mil Muertes have a broken arm?
I'd say 3 more tops.
3 more tops. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 more tops for sure. I mean, he's got to wrestle again in the next few weeks.
Where does Muertes get his colored contacts? Because I don't does he have a guy that he sends out? Because I think that every time I see him there sitting with his contacts, I'm like, does he walk into the store? Do they know him at the pharmacy? And they're like, "Oh, hey, Mel," and he's like, "Oh, getting my contacts. I want to look like Marilyn Manson."
The icicle white, you always, right?
Always my physical weight for Mil. So after an exchange between Cage and Mundo, we get another vignette between. This is the first time we see Marty the Moth, who has still kidnapped who at the end of last season kidnapped Sexy Star and has just like left her tied up in what appeared to be like a 1950s. I don't quite understand what was going on with that
neither.
set. What was going on with Marty the Moth? He's got like he's got like a sweater.
Yeah, he was
over
dressed like
his-
a country club frat boy. That's what he looked like.
Marty the Moth is here to talk to you about refinancing your mortgage.
Oh God. It's just
Or
so
how the Tri-Delts
confusing.
are not going to win. And Sexy Star looking bruised and battered. This gimmick, this is the drizzling shits. I hate this.
Yeah,
I
agree.
really dislike it.
I agree.
Marty the Moth feels like a bad WWE gimmick, like from 10 years ago or
even longer
something.
now. Like back in the day when
didn't Brian Pillman like kidnap Gold Dust's?
He won her fair and square.
Oh, okay,
Let's not fucking cast aspersions against the dead.
right.
He won her fair and square. What the hell was the deal with that? And then he took off.
It feels like that.
That's my love child.
Yeah,
That's what
Dakota is mine. That's just when it was heating up, and then we lost him, sadly. But Sexy
He's
Star,
dead?
Sexy Star. It seemed like they had big plans for her at the start of last season.
Yeah.
And if this is what they have for her now, it's a shame. But I wonder if.
I know there's a lot of unanswered questions, and it does feel like it's not going to go in a predictable way. I have no idea what is going to happen to this, so I'm intrigued by it. But man, I wish that I've never really been a fan of the Marty the Moth character. I could see him and his whatever going on there. Nothing against the guy. It's really well acted.
Sure.
Yeah,
but
he does.
I could see them disappear. And
he does well with a gimmick that sucks.
Yeah, totally. Moving on from Marty and Sexy Star, we get the introduction of the Darewolf.
Ooh,
PJ Black. What are you? I don't know anything about this guy, Kevin.
South African, it's a gross accent. Let's not kid ourselves. It sounds like an Australian who's having his throat cut. But
I plead the fifth.
Well, you can plead the fifth all you want on your in-laws. But my former girlfriend and her garbage family. I'm sorry. I thought that we were allowed to talk openly and honestly. They work for me. Listen.
This match is getting snug.
Anywho, let's put personal stuff aside and keep our eyes on the prize. My ex-girlfriend's family was garbage. No, we get
Violence.
we get PJ Black, the Darewolf, formerly Justin Gabriel of WWE fame. WWE's loss is Lucha Underground's gain.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Yeah, he should be a good fit, but I'm a bit worried about, and we'll get more into this, is that he's a little too similar to Johnny Mundo, his style.
Very similar.
My big takeaway from his intro vignette was that he's like addicted to danger. But if he's addicted to danger, shouldn't he be in South Africa?
Yeah. Just going to the store. He's just he didn't leave the world to go skydive and ride motorcycles and pro wrestle. He just every day gets up and walks to the store.
Just saying. This is an interesting, and I noticed this about not just his vignette, but also with the other one we see later with Kobra Moon. So intrigued, so intrigued by Kobra Moon. But when they're showing them beating people up in the streets. Now, whenever this would happen in season 1, they were just thugs, just people. Bad guys. Yeah. But here, this season, they've all been masked luchadors.
I noticed this as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's implying. Maybe that's sort of a reference to the war, the supposed war that is taking place.
Or this is just, they're showing us more of the universe in which Lucha Underground takes place. People just wear masks, walk in the streets.
That's right. Oh, this is a completely different, it's an alternate reality. Well, I guess so.
I think.
Why not?
No, I think there are different rules in watching Lucha Underground. We kind of talked about it before, than with watching other wrestling and stuff, right?
Totally.
So it should only make sense that people walk in the streets, wear lucha masks.
So Darewolf, we get his vignette, and then we get his first match versus fan favorite, the Mack.
Lucha Afterground favorite.
That's right. And he lost.
Yeah.
Darewolf did.
Darewolf lost to the king of the belly buttons.
It looks like he must have had some kind of surgery then, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Or he's just got a grody belly button.
Mack's belly button is like a slit that goes right down.
It is different.
Something has happened.
It's unique.
So at some point, a doctor had to go into his belly for some reason.
You never know.
He ate some change. He ate some change and he didn't pass it. And you thought I was going to say shit it out, but I was classy and I said pass it.
Oh my god, that's great.
See, this is what I was talking about with PJ Black being a little too much like Johnny Mundo. I think, and again, also getting into how we're supposed to look at this as different from wrestling shows, but this is still a 45-minute story that you're telling with your ups and downs, and it makes no sense to put this match after the Johnny Mundo match. I think that was a big mistake because it comes off as second rate, because I don't think PJ Black is not as good as Johnny Mundo. And although the Mack is great and made great facials throughout this match and has really good in-ring and doesn't look it, but
So athletic.
So
Yeah.
athletic
The guy
for-
does a standing moonsault.
Yeah, and he doesn't look athletic.
No.
No.
He's got those little back rolls that, he's
Yeah,
not getting those moisturized properly. You could tell that looking at him. But that doesn't matter. That's neither here nor there because the motherfucker busts out a standing moonsault and it looked flawless
Yeah,
and
he's
effortless.
great. He's awesome.
In season 1, when he made his maybe his first or second match, Stryker compared him to a junkyard dog. I have never seen a junkyard dog match in my life.
Early, like when he was younger in Mid-South and stuff, that's
Yeah,
when
he
he was
used to
great.
sell out fucking the Mid-South, like, was it New Orleans Stadium, Coliseum? Anyway, he Junkyard Dog was the black Hogan.
Wow.
Like not with the widespread, but in that community, he was Hogan. He was as popular as anybody was back in the day.
And when he went over to WWF at the time, he was so beat up on drugs and whatever that it wasn't good. But his early stuff was good.
Yeah, interesting. Is there any of that on the network? Any of that early stuff?
Sure.
There was on that he did a little bit cup of coffee in Stampede before it got pulled, and we'll see if that comes back.
Oh, cool.
Hopefully, get well soon, Brett. We should all say.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and Smith. Doesn't Smith have cancer too?
Yeah, stinky week for that.
God, the curse of the hearts. There are Kennedys.
That's true.
So after the Mack picks up a victory against PJ Black, I also want to say that if this was WWE and somebody makes their debut and loses clean, I'm pretty sure they will never be anything. But in Lucha Underground, I know that if there is something special planned for PJ Black, it's still to come and it's all part of the equation.
Right.
That's how much faith I have in what they're doing.
This isn't Tyler Breeze losing in it cleanly. in his second
Exactly
match.
who I was thinking about.
Still, I mean, they're setting him up. I mean, they do this little segment to show that he's a badass. And I like that they're continuing the Max, or maybe he has a storyline, maybe he has an arc.
How would you like best of 5 Mack PJ Black all season long?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. It's like Trav said that PJ Black is a little bit too similar to Mundo. With less. He's not as charismatic.
Yeah.
So he's got less charisma and.
Yeah,
it's very similar.
And the smiles he was given when he was up on the top. You talk about great facials from the Mac. They were the drizzles from Darewolf. I should mention I didn't give stars for any of the matches, and I won't be giving any today.
Whoa,
because it has to be like I'll only say it if it's 3 and above. If I feel it's 3 and above, then I'll give you stars. And
Give me your best match of the night though.
probably the first match.
Yeah, I agree.
Killshot and Mundo.
Yeah. So after PJ Black and the Mack, we get a sweet intro vignette of Kobra Moon. I don't know anything about Kobra Moon. All I know is that she is like somehow a snake-themed female wrestler, and that is super cool.
Yeah.
And I am super pumped. And it's gonna be I'm psyched. She's my number one.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen her wrestle.
Really?
Like, I want her to win the championship.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay. It looks like she might have been
Next week we have Kobra Moon versus Mil Muertes.
quite the swerve.
I'd love to see it.
It seemed, was she like a cat burglar? It looked like as well. There was that the gimmick.
Oh, because she was going through those cases?
Yeah.
I don't know what that was going on. I don't know what that was.
That'd be pretty cool too. She's got a cobra gimmick, but she's also a
She
cat
shows up
burglar.
and like undoes the belt, slips away, slithers into the night. That'd be cool. That'd be pretty cool.
Kobra Moon.
That would be pretty cool.
They work for me!
All right, Kobra Moon.
Conspicuous in his absence.
Very
this week.
excited to see Kobra Moon. Certainly, we're going to see a Kobra Moon versus Sexy Star. Certainly, we're going to see a Kobra Moon
Evil East.
maybe. Who knows? After that vignette, we get out comes Puma.
Nicely said.
Puma and Pentagon Jr. versus the Disciples of Death. Guys, I don't care about the Disciples of
Not
Death
Me neither.
at all.
No.
bit.
Mediocre at best. Do
Yeah.
they have individual names?
They do.
Yeah, I looked them up. Barrio Negro,
What means what? Do you think? Black Body?
Ghetto, and Barrio Black. Barrio Negro. You know that a racist guy calls Obama that. Barrio Negro. Listen, this is what you guys tune into. This is what you pay your
This
9
match is getting
snug. Listen, we warned you last week. Travis is racist.
Yeah, the Disciples of Death. They have. It's like they're trying, when they first debuted, they were just the guys from the Daft
Punk video.
Then they gave them each their own like little bit of a different look. They've each got a different name. Each one of them has something different, like in the middle of their forehead. Have you noticed that? Somebody's got a 13. And I'm not sure what the other one's at, but either way, it's like, what? I hope
Convince me to give a fucking shit is what I just. There's nothing about them.
They had one little sequence that was okay, but they had a lot more that were not. And even when the crew was together, before there was one that was eaten by Dario's brother, they had a nice little sequence every once in a while, and they were as nondescript as you get.
Yeah.
But these guys, like Stryker and Vamp, tried to put him over, and
not into it. Puma and Pentagon. Did anybody else? Okay. When Melissa Del Santos is announcing all the names. Now, Kev, you may not know this, but she's got bad blood with Pentagon Jr. Oh,
okay.
Because Pentagon Jr. tried to break her arm in season 1. And I'm telling you, if you go back, all you Lucha Underground superfans out there, go back and just watch the way that she introduces Pentagon Jr., and you will notice a decidedly less enthusiastic and somewhat annoyed that she even has to say his name kind of attitude. Excellent.
The little things.
The little things.
Yeah.
The little things. What do you guys think of this match?
It was okay. The dueling high spots at the end or at the beginning were really great between Puma and Pentagon.
Yeah, Puma hit the double springboard shooting star press, I think, which was fucking bananas.
Yeah.
But for the match as a whole, I don't know, to quote my grandma, who gives a shit, who gives a fuck, you know?
And it's weird again, and I don't want to get into the bad booking, but this was bad booking to just bury the trios champions by losing to 2 guys. I know they're your 2 big guys, but it's still 2 guys beating 3 guys.
I'd forgotten that they were even the champions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But maybe that's fine. If they're going to make them wussy champs, that they're just being protected or mother hen or whatever, then that could end up working.
Yeah, I think it'll all work out in the end, I hope. But yeah, I agree. Like this match in particular was just sort of
there's nothing to it.
Yeah. Even with the 2 biggest guys there, Puma and Pentagon.
Who do you think is more popular, Puma or Pentagon Jr.?
We asked this
We
last
might
week.
have had this last week, and I don't know. It's tough.
I think on the way out, it was going back and forth, the chance, but initially it was louder for Pentagon, I think.
I wonder why. So the match ends. Puma and Pentagon come out victorious, and there's a little bit of a push and a shove, and then Pentagon goes for the arm break on Puma. I was like, when I was watching for the first time, I honestly didn't know if it was going to happen or not. I was like, could it? Because after they did it to Mil Muertes, all bets are off. All bets are off. But
Katie bar the door.
This guy loves breaking arms.
He
man.
loves to break arms. How great was all of Vampiro's like ranting to Matt Stryker, like, leave me alone, why are you asking me about this? I had to go through all this therapy. I'm taking pills every
day. But he didn't say no. You can tell this is the mystery that they're going to keep giving us hints.
Oh, I'm thrilled, man. If it ends with another like Vampiro versus Pentagon Jr.
Something like
hardcore
that.
match, love it.
Is Vampiro still taking his Rohypnol or whatever the fuck it was?
Atropiprazole.
Yeah, he wasn't Rohypnol. That's a date rape drug. The atropiprazole. Yeah, did he mention that this week?
No, it did not come up.
We're still at 1.
Okay, so the match ends. Puma escapes the arm break, and then we get an after credit vignette with the new Dragon Azteca, I guess.
Steve.
As far as we know.
Steve, the Dragon Azteca.
Old spray paint Steve. He's the guy who spray painted the question mark on the Lucha.
And then we also get at the very last image of the whole episode. And you recognized his voice, Kev.
Yeah.
Recognize the man's voice because it's very delicate. Booyaka Booyaka 619 Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, and that was really refreshing. After there's still we saw some of our favorites today, but seeing Rey Mysterio, some legitimacy it felt like at that moment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. I hope we see him wrestle. Do you think we'll see him actually wrestle?
Of course. Yeah. No, they're not bringing him in for... No, because he still works indies. Of course he's going to work some fucking...
Yeah, that makes sense.
But okay, so that's the question. Who do you want to see Rey Mysterio
his first match?
Not in his first necessarily, just who is this season at some point the match that you get to see Rey Mysterio. For me, it's Prince Puma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think he's only going to wrestle once if he wrestles.
You think?
That's my guess.
Really? No.
Yeah.
No.
I think once.
Okay, let's take bets.
I think he'll be like Conan was in the first. He was around a lot. but he didn't actually.
Yeah, but Conan's
Conan's
retired.
he's been done
And
for
Rey
a while.
Mysterio's been working steadily.
All right, we'll see.
He wouldn't sign on just to do one.
What's your over under on Rey Mysterio?
I'm going to say minimum 5.
minimum 5.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'd say 5 matches, at least 5. Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm sticking with one.
He's the biggest star that
Yeah.
they have. They're
Yeah.
not going to just have him
Yeah.
wrestle one match this season.
Yeah, that's true.
And if they do, I'll fucking fight Dario Cueto.
He's not calling the shots. I told you he was conspicuous
Also-
in his absence.
Yeah, that's right. He wasn't there.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you notice in the main event tonight, Matt Stryker and Vampiro basically confirmed that the Disciples of Death killed Conan in the first season?
No, I didn't.
I didn't catch
Yes.
I didn't.
They're like, they are Disciples of Death, blah, blah, blah. They threw Conan into a coffin he's never been heard of again. But I swear to God, there was more definitive than that. It was like, they killed Conan.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure, man.
gotta see
I'm
it,
pretty
yeah.
sure. Okay, hold on a second. We'll just pause. We'll pause the recording here. I'm going to find it.
Okay.
Max invented something that never happened.
I don't know where I heard that, but I think it did. Crystal Fisher. Hey, Crystal Fisher, if you're listening, help me out here, buddy. Tell me where that was. I know it happened, and I know that you know. I need your backup.
Sorry
for that
We did
interlude.
find out that season 3 is coming back.
That's
That we
exciting.
are getting a season 3.
Well, do
So
you
that's
think they'll be ready to roll by the end of season 2? Or do you think there'll be a break?
Probably do what they did last year, you would think.
Like a 6-month break?
Maybe not 6 months, but there'll be.
So let's see. Right now we are in early February. So if there's 26 episodes in this, so where that would put us at the end of summer or beginning of summer, pretty typical.
Crystal
TV.
Fisher, tell us what month it will put us in. And whatever that other
Our Oracle.
jabroni's name is. Send
Ultimate Carl.
Ultimate Carl. You work for us. Send us your goddamn 575. We want some haikus.
Booyaka 575.
Well, I got to get going, guys.
Match is getting
Alrighty.
snug.
Thanks a lot for listening, and catch you guys soon.
We'll be back next week. The question is...
The question is, will you join us?
Nice. And definitely we are on iTunes, so subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher, however you get your podcasts, and on SoundCloud. Check you guys later.
See ya.
What the people out there don't know is that we just watched the entire main event again in fast
In
motion,
1.5 speed.
just so we could hear the exact quote that was made about Conan,
Which never
which never came.
It's in there.